Hi everyone, it's Bonnie here, and today I would like to share with you a fabric collage journal that I created, and I created this especially to list in my Etsy store, which is called I Love Lace, and I'll put the link to that below. The entire journal is made out of fabric, and it's all vintage material and laces, trims, handmade flowers, and doilies, and vintage inspired children that I printed on fabric paper. So again, those are fabric as well. So let me show you the cover. Um, all the flowers that you see throughout are all handmade with either muslin or let's see, that's muslin as well. And this here is just some eyelet trim, more muslin. And these are all like little bows that I put along the side. And the buttons throughout the journal are all vintage, and some of them even have the original thread in them. And the images, what I did was I machine stitched them and used vintage thread and stitch it on some burlap. Okay, and this here is muslin that I gathered and then added this little rosette trim and some loose pearls. This is a little flower that I created with more muslin, and I put some loose pearls in the center. Here's a rolled flower, and I hung this adorable little wooden spool that I put some lace around and tied that little bow and added a chain through the center of it and these cute little charms. Okay, so on this side there's lace going all the way down here, and here's some more trim that took to, I also tea-dyed all of the material, so it gave it that really vintage look. And a lot of the trims and laces you will also find in my Etsy store. The only difference is I tea-dyed all of the material in here, except some of the vintage doilies. And here's another handmade flower, really shabby chic, vintage inspired, very tattered. And we go to the first page, and there's another vintage inspired image. And over here is a really big flower that I created, and that is out of muslin, and I added some trim in, in between the little petals. And this is a vintage earring. I just took the shank off the back of it, and this is just some material that I dangled down. Here is some vintage thread on their little spools I just added, and some more pretty trim up here that I tea-dyed, and more vintage buttons. Here I just added this little pearl on a strand, and just made them shooting out of this rolled flower, and added some loose pearls all around. Here are some absolutely beautiful trim that I tea-dyed, and I actually love the color that turned. And it's funny because some of the different materials take to the tea-dye differently than others. Okay, and here's another inspired vintage inspired image, and I added this beautiful trim here, more buttons, and behind her is this huge vintage doily. See, it's sticking out here. It's absolutely stunning. And I did not tea dye this. This is the color that it was. Around her, framed around her, is some cheesecloth that I also tea dyed. And I just ran this pretty pearl strand all around and adhere some pretty loose pearls. And again, it's just like layers and layers of beautiful lace trim. And here's another adorable image. And I just framed her with some pretty lace. And here is some more lace at the top. And this one here. And here's another flower that I created out of muslin. And a couple more here and here. And I added a vintage doily in back and more layers of beautiful lace trim. And this is another vintage doily. I did not tea dye that. You see the difference in the colors? I wanted, you know, some lighter colors in there as well. And then this page does not have an image. I left this kind of, well, it's not really plain, but what I did was I made a pocket out of muslin and burlap. So you can, you know, add pictures or letters or, you know, whatever you want to that. And here's another big flower that I made here and added trims all around. So that's what that page looks like. I'm probably not showing you the entire thing. And that's that one. And then we go on to the next page, and there's another beautiful vintage inspired picture, and more beautiful lace with buttons, and some more of my handmade flowers, and I just have bows like sticking out here. And again, that's machine sewn on a piece of burlap. And the last page is another adorable image, and she's printed off of the internet like the others on fabric paper. And the little heart doily here that you see is also vintage that I tea dyed in a another huge handmade flower made out of muslin. And on the side here, again, I added tons of bows and layered them and added some more vintage buttons. So that's what that looks like. And then you just go on to the back. Okay, so this is my beautiful vintage inspired collage journal. You can see it's quite thick because I add material inside, and so yeah, you can find that in my Etsy store along with a lot of the trims that you see here. So thanks for watching, and I'll put all the links below. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.